What is going on, Trash Talkers? We are back with another episode for you. In today's video, we're going to give you our season preview for the Buffalo Bills. All that and much more coming your way right now! Alright, before we get into today's video, be sure to hit that subscribe button and like the video as it will help us out tremendously. So sit back, relax, and enjoy today's video. Alright, Nick, as the 2022 NFL season grows closer and closer, we have yet another season preview to get to. Today we're going to be talking about the Buffalo Bills. The Buffalo Bills are arguably one of the best, if not the best teams in the NFL. They have only gotten stronger. When you take a look at some of the players that they were able to get this offseason, whether at the draft or free agency, you take a look at players like Von Miller from the defending Super Bowl champion Los Angeles Rams. You look at Roger Saffold, the big-time guard from the Tennessee Titans. You look at Jordan Phillips, the massive defensive tackle for the Arizona Cardinals. All of these guys coming into this Buffalo Bills franchise and trying to help the trenches, work with these guys, and work on getting this team more aggressive. The fact of the matter is that the Buffalo Bills have come yet so close yet again to a Super Bowl chance, and they need to figure out how they can do that. Bringing in a guy like Von Miller, who was just there, was with a team and can do it, that could be the precedent that they need to get things going. When you take a look at some of the players that they lost, though, some key players on the defensive line, Jerry Hughes is gone. You also see that Mario Addison, both of them have teamed up in Houston with the Texans, and Levi Wallace going to the Pittsburgh Steelers. That is a big loss on the secondary, but they were able to fill it in the draft as well. But Nick, when we take a look at their schedule, when we take a look at the teams that they have to play in the first 6 weeks, how does it fare for the Buffalo Bills in 2022?
Yeah, well, the Buffalo Bills are an improved team, and they were already a stacked team, which means they've gotten even better, and they're going to be the toughest team in the AFC to beat. They are the team to get ahead of if you want to be in the Super Bowl next season. And when we go through the first 6 games of the schedule, they start off in week 1 against the Los Angeles Rams in Los Angeles on opening night of the 2022 season. It's going to be a very different game than most. There's a ceremony beforehand. It is very much so like a Super Bowl environment, and that is something the Buffalo Bills are not used to. The Los Angeles Rams retaining most of their players and getting better, having that veteran knowledge, they're going to be a much more prepared team to take on the Buffalo Bills than the Bills are to take on the Rams, and it's not going to be a good game for the Bills, especially to start the season. But then going into the next 5 games, we have them going on a 5-game win streak, because when you look at the overall teams, they're just nowhere near the skill set that the Bills are bringing as a collective unit. When we take a look at the Titans in week 2, got a lot of weaknesses on that offensive line, and Von Miller is going to help expose that. The Dolphins, a lot of new weapons, but they have struggled to put it all together. I don't think they'll be able to put it together as soon as week 3. The Ravens, Steelers, Chiefs, these teams have some players, but overall they are nowhere near the skill set of the Buffalo Bills, and that's why we see them getting off to a relatively hot start at the beginning of the year.
The first 6 weeks of the season are definitely in favor of the Buffalo Bills. In week 7, we see that they have a bye week. So starting off in week 8, that win streak continues. Weeks 8, 9, and 10, all going the way of the Buffalo Bills, taking on teams like the Packers, Jets, and Vikings. The Packers and the Vikings are going to be very difficult matchups, but when they have to go to Buffalo, it is going to be a different environment than both of these teams are prepared for. The Minnesota Vikings are a dome team, and going to Buffalo in the middle of the fall, early winter, is not something that they are prepared for. It's not something that they're going to want to do. And the Green Bay Packers are just decimated on offense. Aaron Rodgers is still there, but throwing to some rookies and a couple other players is not what we had in mind for the Packers this year. It's not going to hold up against the Buffalo Bills, and that's where we see that win streak continuing for the Bills. In week 11, though, this is where we expect things to get a little interesting, because we expect that Deshaun Watson will be playing for the Cleveland Browns, as we have him facing an 8-game suspension. But the Cleveland Browns are no joke with Deshaun Watson under center. They have the defense to be able to slow down Josh Allen and company. And on the other side of the ball, Deshaun Watson, Amari Cooper, these guys can put up numbers. The rushing attack alone with Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt can do massive damage against a decimated defensive line that we see from the Buffalo Bills. They have not been able to stop the run year after year. This is going to be something that continues on, and I believe that the Cleveland Browns have the perfect formula with Deshaun Watson to take down the Buffalo Bills. And in Week 12, the Detroit Lions just not having a shot. While they're a rebuilding team and they are on the right track, this is just one team that you don't want to see. The Buffalo Bills will be a buzzsaw for the Lions, and it's not going to be pretty.
And then going to the last 6 games of the season, we have the Buffalo Bills going 14-3 overall, with only one more loss coming in Week 17 against the Cincinnati Bengals. But looking at this 6-week stretch, we have the Buffalo Bills taking on the Patriots for the first time in Week 13, getting a big victory in Gillette Stadium. That's a very tough environment, and with the way the Patriots are looking, this is going to be a big victory for the Buffalo Bills to say they are still the defending divisional champs, and they are not going to be giving it up anytime soon to one of their divisional rivals. Going into Week 14-15, you got 2 more divisional rivals getting big victories there. Week 16, the Bears. Justin Fields is about the only depth they have on this team. Everywhere else is lacking, and the Bills should steamroll Week 16. But then going into Week 17, we have a very tough matchup. The reigning AFC champion Cincinnati Bengals, a team that's been tried and tested and prevailed. They know what it takes to get past teams like the Buffalo Bills, and they have improved massively on that offensive line. It's going to be a much different team than what we saw last year, and they're going to be a much more difficult team to get past. I think the Bills end up struggling here in a very tight game, but then they get to finish off the year strong in Week 18, getting the sweep on the season against the New England Patriots. Overall, the Buffalo Bills had an outstanding season going 14-3, which should definitely be enough for them to lock up the #1 seed in the AFC.
It should be, but we still have some other teams to get to, and if you follow this series, you know that there's plenty of ups and downs throughout the AFC and the NFC, so be sure to continue to follow this series as we go through the rest of the NFL and their record predictions. All right, well, that's going to be all for now. Thank you all for watching. Be sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Hit that notification bell. We go live every single day. That'll be all. Peace and love.